work with video for like 6 years now, I think. And I started after I studied photography, or while I was studying photography, I started to do music videos for friends. And then I was working freelance for a German music TV channel, Viva, and did a show called Vava about independent music. So this is actually when I started to use video. Most of my videos are about my personal fear, plus my subjective views on melancholy and dystopia. It's also visions of, it's like always this mixture between utopia and dystopia, but in the end I always choose dystopia because it's kind of maybe more how I see the world. When I work on a piece, first of all, there's this idea of an image, and the idea of that image gets filled with, like, let's call it socio-political content in a way. They are just like these spaces that are inspiring when I walk through Berlin and I see abandoned spaces or like high modern building sites. I kind of have this personal feeling of alienation, and maybe I'm afraid of that. Like being alone in this hyper-modern city is a nightmare vision for me. So this is actually the first image that I had for my barrio, that I had this idea of this guy alone in a city. I used the control of time to slow the walk of the guy a little bit down, that it's just a little bit off time, and I also used post-production again to set the colors right, that actually the architecture that surrounds the guy looks like in the catalogs of, or like a 3D, like ArchiCAD or whatever these programs are. So, and I deleted like all the other people to make him like really alone. So actually when I use digital manipulation of the image, it's mostly because it has like it gives sense to the piece itself. No, I think you definitely have to spend time with my work. It's not very spectacular, and a lot of the stuff that's happening is subtle. So also the manipulations, the digital manipulations, are very subtle. There are special effects, but they're not there. There are like no effects. You just realize after a minute or after two maybe that something weird is happening in that image that totally doesn't belong there in reality. at the moment I'm working on a series of still images, but I'm not producing still images with a photo camera. I'm using a video camera for them, and I use a technique that I developed for the DV paintings. So it's I film 20 to 30 seconds of a person, and then I just overlay all the single frames. So like thousands of images, and then in the end you just have one average image of the person, which is interesting for me because it's again creating. It doesn't have to do anything with reality. It's just creating a certain kind of atmosphere around an aura around that person in a way, and it looks kind of disturbing and beautiful at the same time.